Now let us discuss the external reproductive organs of the male system, and those include the penis and the scrotum. So the scrotum is a pouch of skin and subcutaneous tissue. Note that that subcutaneous tissue does not have subcutaneous fat in it. It actually has a smooth muscle known as the dartus muscle. That smooth muscle can contract and relax in response to the changes of temperature. The whole function of the dartus muscle is to keep the testis at an optimal temperature for sperm production. And that would be about 5 degrees Fahrenheit below body temperature. And that is why, again, the testis has to descend into the scrotum. So in cold weather, the dartus muscle will contract, pulling the testis into the pelvic cavity to warm it up. And then it would relax, allowing the testis to fall back down into the scrotum. There is a medial septum, so a divider in the scrotum that divides it into 2 chambers. Each chamber has a testis and an epididymis, and is lined with a serous membrane. As for the penis, it conveys urine and semen through the urethra to the outside of the body. The body or the shaft of the penis has 3 columns of erectile tissue. One column is known as the corpus spongiosum, or the sponge body, and that surrounds the urethra for protection. And then there are 2 bodies known as the corpora cavernosa, or the cavernous bodies, and those are full of, or have the ability to fill up with blood, and that would help in the erection process. The very tip of the penis, of the corpus spongiosum, is known as the glans penis, and that has the external urethral orifice, which is the external opening of the urethra. It is covered with foreskin or prepuce, and that is the part that is removed during circumcision. So we'll look at the images here. This again is the glans penis, which is the most distal part. It has the external urethral orifice, and you can see it covered here with the foreskin or the prepuce. And that again is the part that is removed during circumcision. If you take a section in the penis, you'll find that's the urethra, and the body that surrounds it is known as the corpus spongiosum. And again, it protects the urethra, especially during an erection. And then these 2 bodies are known as the corpora cavernosa. Cavernosa means that it has the ability to fill up with blood, and when it does that, that's how an erection occurs. And you can see those 2 veins. There's a superficial and a dorsal vein, a superficial and a deep dorsal vein. These dorsal veins during erection are going to be collapsed. Okay, so blood would be coming into the penis and unable to get out, and that's what leads to the engorgement of the penis, with that blood leading to an erection. Now we'll talk about the erection, orgasm, and ejaculation. So erection occurs due to sexual stimulation, which could either be auditory, visual, tactile, or others. And during sexual stimulation, the parasympathetic nerves are going to release a neurotransmitter, a gas neurotransmitter called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide will lead to the vasodilation of the arteries of the penis. So now more blood will be coming in. That blood again is going to lead to the accumulation of blood in the corpora cavernosa. It will compress the veins, so again you have more blood coming in, less blood coming out or leaving, and that leads to the penis to swell up and elongate. Now orgasm and ejaculation, those are under the sympathetic control. So the orgasm, which is the culmination of the sexual stimulation, that is largely dependent on the sympathetic nervous system. So remember that the erection is under the control of the parasympathetic, while orgasm and ejaculation are under the control of the sympathetic system. Well, the sympathetic system will lead to the peristaltic contractions of the epididymis, the vas deferens, So moving the sperms through the system until it gets into the ejaculatory duct. And then these sympathetic nervous impulses will contract the smooth muscles of the seminal vesicles, the prostate gland, and the bulbourethral glands, dumping all of these secretions. And then that leads to, that is the process known as emission. So emission is the movement of semen into the urethra. It did not leave the body yet. When the semen leaves the body, so the movement of the semen out of the urethra, that's known as ejaculation. Now, the next part, we'll talk about the hormonal control of the male reproductive system.